Let's talk about just overall the idea and conceptually where you went with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, for starters, we mentioned this earlier, but at its core, we really did need to like define a category here, you know, completely change consumer behavior. Like the big tech companies have spent the better part of a couple of decades and billions of dollars convincing us that new is better. Flat out, new is innovative, no matter if it's just a new, slightly different shade of gray or a new update that nobody ever asked for. It's the innovative new thing, and
Right.
and you'd be crazy to not buy the new thing.
Yeah, it's funny. For years, there was this sort of promise of tech as this kind of great savior, and I think especially in recent years, there's just been a public distrust about where are we going with all of this. You know, do we really need these updates and innovations? And I think for us, it really felt like the time was right to like capitalize on that sort of cultural headwind, if you will, and try to kind of make a bold statement about what the nature of modern day innovation in the technology space really is. You know, is it these minimal, unnecessary updates that is truly what is groundbreaking and innovative? Or is it taking a step back and actually realizing that there could be a much better, more future-proof, more sustainable way to be purchasing your technology, and kind of almost better in every way, better for your wallet, better for the environment. And so I think we got really excited about trying to puncture this bubble and sort of pull the wool off of this ruse that's been going on for quite a while, almost using the language, the visual language, and like the sort of kind of tone that has been the method of convincing you that this is what you need for years and years.
Yeah. And I want to go back to the brief. What stood out to you in the brief, and how did it evolve? How did it change in your mind?
I mean, from the start, the brief really was like convince people that new is not the only option. You know, like
that's a simple construct to work with, but man, I have to imagine that early in the process, it's like, okay, what do we do with that?
Interestingly enough, like we were bought in from the second that we actually.
No, I get that. But my point is that there are a million ways you could have gone. How did you determine the discipline in that? Because you're talking about a very, very wide category. You're talking about an extraordinarily competitive category, and it can be very easy to be a kid in a creative candy store, but no, you only get the peppermints.
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, I think for this one in particular, like I think a way we love to work at Gus is, you know, we call ourselves a creative strategy company, right? And I think for us, landing on that big singular idea that, you know, can become a bedrock or a platform that just other ideas fall out of is where we really try to sort of hang our hat and make it such an emphasis. So I think right away, when we got a brief this exciting and this juicy, we set into trying to sort of establish like what could be a big platform level idea that a lot of fun thinking and work can fall out of. So right away, we set to work, like working with the back market team to like, we presented like a number of different strategic territories, you know, ways in, but contextualize those with like the types of creative fodder and creative output that would fall out of any of them. And I think when we got to this sort of territory around let them buy new, around sort of trying to expose the sort of hypocrisy of the industry using the tricks and tools they've been using for years and years, I think the juice was there. You know, when you saw the ideas that were falling out of it. And so I think just in the way we like to work, where we try to have that big idea, but then add that creative context sort of right away, it felt like made it really easy for us all as a team to sort of buy in and be like, there is the magic here. There is the sort of evergreen feeling here that made it really easy for us to sort of run at it hard.